Hey everyone, welcome back to another Ironman from scratch video. Last episode, we set out on our first big PVM grind, the hunt for the Berserker ring. I had knuckled down anticipating our first possible long RNG grind, but let's just say it didn't quite pan out like that. Certainly not something that I'm going to complain about. Since we knocked that out so quickly, today we're going to jump back into a bunch of random tasks and continue fleshing out the foundations of our account. Let's get cracking. On the topic of good RNG though, what's one of your most memorable grinds? Whether it be good luck, bad luck, let me know in the comments down below. So you would have seen in the last couple of episodes that I've done a bit of tidying up on my bank just to try sort it out and find things a little bit more easily. I never went into too much detail about that, and I'm not going to do that today either because that'll bore the hell out of you, but there is one thing that I've been saving to show you all, and that's to do with these random miscellaneous items I've got in the last tab here. So we're back in our player-owned house now to explore yet another of its many useful features. This time it's the costume room. The costume room allows us to build a few different storage spaces such as the armor case and fancy dress box, which can store particular pieces of armor and gear and items in the game, which means we can clear up a bunch of bank space without having to throw away some special items. As you can imagine, this is incredibly useful for Ironman especially. So to start out for now, we're going to build ourselves an armor case space. I think the name speaks for itself. And we're also going to build ourselves a fancy dress box space which lets us store all our random event items. These are obviously items which are never going to have any particularly practical use at the moment, but we just want to have them for collection purposes, and this is where we can put them for all eternity. Rightio, I'm going to start dumping this all into our house. You can see we're at 789 bank spaces so far, and the Shazian armor and the Ham outfit are obviously two major culprits which we'll be able to get rid of now and clear up plenty of bank space. Okay, that's all done now. So unfortunately we didn't have enough space to store every single item, but we can do that later on once we've upgraded to mahogany tier. But now we can release our placeholders and clear up a whole bunch of space. Okay, so we've dropped down to 720, which is nice, but I just realized I shouldn't have released all placeholders because there was some that were actually doing things like in the main tab here. Ah, well, it shouldn't be too big of a deal to clean up later on. Let's move on anyway. I think I'm sick and tired of cleaning up for now. We are on a really nice run at the moment with our RNG drops. Unfortunately, I wasn't recording, but we just got another spirit tree seed from the birdhouse runs. Now, you might be saying to yourself, spirit seeds are cool and all, but they're not mega rare. However, that is our 6th spirit seed, which is a huge milestone for the account. There are actually 5 spirit tree patches in the entire game, plus 1 for your player-owned house, so to fill out all those patches, we need 6 seeds in total. That means we're done with all the spirit tree requirements we need on this account going forward, unless they put more patches into the game. Another really good benefit of this is that spirit seeds can actually be traded in at the farming guild for tier 5 seed packs, and since we're going to have excess ones in the future now, we can start racking up some bonus seed packs, which is far more useful to the account progression at this point in time. Just knocking out our weekly tiers of Gothics, 126 tiers isn't too bad, and that will give us 37 Slayer, 3 Slayer levels, not too shabby at all. Speaking of tiers, I may have shed a happy tear or two because we actually just passed 3,000 subscribers on the YouTube channel, which is absolutely incredible. If you're one of those awesome people out there enjoying the videos, then please drop a like on this one as well. It really helps me out and it's greatly appreciated. And for all you new viewers out there, if you want to tag along with the journey, then subscribe to follow along. One thing which came out of our Dagonoth grind is that it reminded me we actually have a ridiculous amount of fish just sitting in the bank, all left over from when we did Temperos way back when. So I figured I might as well spend a bit of AFK time grinding through this fish stack. We're going to need more cooking levels, 70 in particular for recipe for disaster anyway, plus it's going to help to have just a bit of extra food lying around. That is 66 cooking down. Don't mind the change to the resizable screen, by the way. Cooking's just one of those skills that I find easier to do when you use a different layout rather than fixed because you can click on the range and bank a lot more easily. I'm not sure if I've mentioned this before, but the Hesidious kitchen is actually one of the best places to cook early on. Not only is it close to a bank, but you get a 5% increased success rate when you're cooking your fish. That actually goes up to 10% with the elite diary, but I'm pretty sure by the time you have that done, there's a good chance you're going to be at 99 cooking anyway. But yeah, definitely early to mid game, it's one of the best spots to come and cook just because of that boost that you get. And there is 67 cooking, 68 cooking, 69 cooking, one more to go. And that is 70 cooking. Nice little milestone out of the way, a good solid session of cooking if I do say so myself. We knocked out quite a lot of bass there, 3,000 down, but there's still a heap to go, and we haven't even touched the 4,000 swordfish yet. And there's a nice batch of 2,000 sharks there as well when we get around to it. Okay, let's start knocking out some miscellaneous tasks. We're going to whip ourselves up a chocolate bomb for the diary, Fletch and Oak shortbow for another task, medium task for mining a gold ore below the stronghold. I forgot to hit record on that one, so you're going to miss my awesome gnome ball skills, but there's another diary task for scoring a gnome ball goal, a lap of gnome agility course completed. Now smacking a Terror Bird, both for the diary and also for Rag and Bone Man 2, which we got the drop straight away, very nice. So there's also a diary task for doing a gnome order delivery, but turns out we have to go through this full tutorial first to learn how to cook and make some drinks, so I'm going to knock that out real quick. Okay, we finished the tutorial and we've got our first official delivery order. Captain Erdo is just upstairs at the gnome glider in the main tree, so that's an easy one to get to. That is our delivery complete and yet another diary task to go with it. And the last one we're going to do in the area for now is just got to jump down this shortcut for another medium diary task. That was a good little run, nice solid half a dozen or so tasks completed there. Well, so far we've done some inventory management, some skilling, diary tasks. Now it's time to add some quests to the list. We're going to go knock out Haunted Mine. Along the way, we're just going to quickly grab ourselves 8 limestone bricks from Razmir here. These will be used for Song of the Elves way into the future, but just good to get them in the bank now. Let the Haunted Mine commence. Okay, this fight can be pretty brutal early on in an account or if you don't have any rage methods, but I think with our Iban staff we should be pretty good to go. Okay, yeah, we're melting straight through him now. Oop, okay, standing there is not exactly going to help our cause, but just a little mishap. And that's the kill complete. We can wrap up the quest. And that is the Haunted Mine complete with a very nice 22k XP drop there for strength as well, which gets us to 62 strength. And that also gives us access to the Salve Amulet, which gives 16% bonus attack and strength when fighting undead monsters, a very handy little item to have. It can also be enchanted and imbued later on for additional bonuses as well as boosts for magic and ranged. Okay, we've got ourselves a full inventory of shards, hopefully that's enough so that we never have to come back down here, and on to the next task. Okay, we've been gunning towards Throne of Miscellania for quite a while to unlock Managing the Kingdom and get a bunch of extra resources. All that's left is Hero's Quest, so I think it's about time we go and wrap this one up. As with many things on the account, we've actually been multitasking Hero's Quest as we go along doing other tasks, and the only thing left is the Master Thief's armband, so let's go grab that now and wrap up the quest. My trusty old main account has been relegated to helping JuicyBeet finish off his task, so he's going to stand over there and blast grip for us so we can get the quest done. Okay, we've got all the goods, and that is Hero's Quest complete. Another big milestone quest out of the way and a bunch of random XP to go with it, and a nice little HP level to boot. Awesome, now we can go straight onto Throne of Miscellania finally. Actually, just quickly, one last thing. There's a diary task for killing the blue dragon in the Heroes Guild, so we might as well grab that one real quick while we're here as well. I realized that we're only one diary task away from the Fremennik Easy Diaries, and since we have to pass through Relica to get to Miscellania anyway, we might as well grab that now and get the free XP lamp. Awesome, there we go. That's another diary set complete, another green bar in the book, and we've got ourselves a little bit more herblore XP. It is finally time to start the Throne of Miscellania. Let's go. Imagine speedrunning a relationship like this in real life. That would certainly be something. That is Throne of Miscellania complete, a huge unlock for the account being able to manage our own kingdom, but there is one last piece of the puzzle missing still. But before we get to that missing piece, we've got to knock out a few of our hourlies, and that is another farming level 66 out of the way. These farming contracts are slowly but surely chipping away at our levels. So a lot of you amazing viewers have actually messaged me through private chat or the friend CC just to say hello and have a chat or to support the videos, which has been really awesome. I think Mr. Zaza Red, who is actually the first person who spotted me in public though, and unfortunately I missed the message completely, so I'm really sorry about that, mate, but thanks for saying hello anyway. Okay, so about that last missing puzzle piece, some of you may have guessed it, but that is the quest Royal Trouble, which is essentially the sequel to Throne of Miscellania. Royal Trouble gives a whole bunch of extra perks when managing the kingdom, so it's definitely worth doing before you get stuck into it. Unfortunately, we're a few levels short of one of the requirements, which is 40 Slayer, so we're going to have to knock that out real quick. So you might be thinking, what the heck am I doing here at the Fire Altar? That's not exactly how you train Slayer, and there's a very good reason for that. Sneaky little 36 runecrafting though, before we get into that reason. As you can see, runecrafting is actually only a couple of levels below Slayer at the moment. Now, we have access to the minigame Tears of Guthix, which actually gives us experience to our lowest skill, so we want to get runecrafting up just past our Slayer XP so that when we go and do our Tears of Guthix, we'll get a boost to Slayer. And at this point of early to mid game, when you've still got some low skills like this, the Tears of Guthix XP is actually pretty efficient. So I'm pretty sure it's actually faster for us to grab a couple of quick levels of runecrafting, go and do Tears of Guthix for the Slayer XP, and then see where that leaves us for what we have to grind out to finish it off. I might be talking complete gibberish. I didn't exactly do any calcs or anything, just going with my gut feel, but you know what? We need the levels anyway at some point, so it's no harm done. There's 37 runecrafting. That was definitely pretty quick. We just got to get a little bit more to get past our Slayer XP, and then it's off the Tears of Guthix. Okay, we've got our runecrafting XP above our Slayer. Let's see what we can do. Okay, this is actually a huge run. This is the most I've ever gotten, definitely on this account at least. I was just really lucky with the pools coming to where I was standing a few times, and 159 points is massive. Okay, wow, it worked out perfectly. That got us all the way to 40 Slayer. That was not part of the plan. That was exactly what I planned. I am a tactical genius. This is why I did the runecrafting first. Let's go do Royal Trouble. Yes, sir, I would like to start royal trouble, please. So the wiki told me that our trusty Ivan staff should make short work of this snake, and I think the wiki would be correct with that one. For the longest time, I've always seen people hype up the Ivan staff and what a great mid-game weapon it is, but because I was never an Iron Man, I never had to use it, but I'm definitely a believer now. I can truly appreciate this weapon for what it is. It's amazing. Speaking of amazing though, that is Royal Trouble complete, increased Miscellania resources, which is what we're really after, and we're creeping up very close to 200 quest points now as well. Oh, and there's 41 Slayer as well, the cherry on top. So what exactly is all the fuss about this managing Miscellania, and why did we want it done? Essentially, it's just a way to trade money for resources, and it saves us some time having to gather them because we can get it passively in the background. Back in the day, it was a pretty popular way to make a bit of money for some accounts, and even these days on a main account, you can actually still make a little bit of daily GP just passively, so it's not too bad for early to mid-game accounts. But for Ironman, that's obviously not a consideration for us, we're just after the resources. So you're given a bunch of workers, starting at 10 I believe with Throne of Miscellania, up to 15 once you complete Royal Trouble. They also become more efficient when you complete Royal Trouble, so you get more resources per worker essentially. And then these workers can be assigned to a bunch of different labor groups, namely herbs, woodcutting, mining, fishing, hardwood cutting, and farming. Again though, the latter two, hardwood, woodcutting, and farming, are only available after Royal Trouble. You deposit some cash into the coffers. I won't go into all the numbers, you can read through the wiki or a guide, and then the workers will each day gather some resources, take some of the money out of the coffers, and then you can come and collect the goods. The one we're most interested in is going to be hardwood woodcutting and also just regular woodcutting. We're going to set as many workers as we can onto hardwood woodcutting. This will give us a nice little supply of mahogany logs for our birdhouse runs and a bit of construction as well if we want. And then the rest is going to go onto maple logs just for a few extra logs for fletching. Also, the benefit of having our workers on all the different woodcutting tasks means we get chances of bird's nest each day, and that's just going to help increase our stash and supply of bird's nest for our Ceredoman brews, as well as any random little drops like seeds and that we can get from them. So we've ticked off quite a few bits and pieces today, not least of all reaching managing Miscellania, which is one of our big goals for the account. Just want to say thank you again for the 3,000 subscribers and all the support on the channel, especially you guys watching all the way to the end of the videos and have stuck around even though the content slowed down a little bit the last couple of months. I will be sure to keep bringing the videos to you all as long as you want to keep watching. As always guys, if you enjoyed the video, drop a like and subscribe, it really helps me out. Previous episode is on screen, and until next time, have a good one. See ya!